We've got King and Queen of the Ring main event plans. An AEW star is suffering concussion symptoms, and an AEW wrestler's suspension has been lifted. Hooray! It's time for the news. No, it's not a wig. I'm just growing my hair out. So a lot of people are speculating about the potential main event for the King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view. Obviously, we've got two bloody tournament finals there. We've got the King of the Ring tournament finals, the Queen of the Ring tournament finals. Is it going to be one of those? It appears not, according to a new report.
Yeah, this comes from the Wrestling Observer, and they say, we were told by those in WWE that Rhodes is pegged for the main event on this show in a title match, and the opponent should start being built imminently since the show is so close at hand.
It's only a few weeks away.
Yep.
And we've been racking our brains here. There are a few possibilities. You could do AJ Styles again. I'm not going to be complaining about that because the match was absolutely fantastic, but it's a little bit weird because AJ is in a match with Randy Orton tonight as part of the King of the Ring tournament.
Yes.
So him going like, well, I lost against Randy, but it's okay, I'll just have a WWE title match instead.
Yeah,
It's a bit odd.
It does feel really, really weird, but I guess like if WWE, we've been hearing reports and stuff that WWE doesn't necessarily have much of a plan for Cody Rhodes until The Rock and Roman Reigns come back. So if they do want to keep just putting on these banger matches for Cody to have, because that AJ one was phenomenal, no pun intended, but like people away from the King of the Ring tournament, you've got, I mean, we've already seen it when he got called up, but we've got people like Carmelo Hayes.
That's a big thing, him getting a main event for the WWE title straight away.
Yeah.
It'd be a great match.
It would be, Andrade, I think obviously them two have history in AEW too, and I think those two would put on a banger match as well if that's what they're looking to do.
Could do Nakamura again.
Yeah.
Be all right.
Yeah. No, it would be all right. It would be all right.
I think there's a possibility here that Bobby Lashley has been pulled from the King of the Ring qualifiers with a kayfabe injury rather than a real one, because they might do Cody versus Bobby. I think that'd be good. I know it's babyface versus babyface,
Again,
but that'd be a nice match, wouldn't it?
I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? At the end of the day, if, again, like I say, if they are just looking to put on banger matches, it doesn't necessarily always have to be heel versus babyface, does it?
No, for sure.
Be a nice show of sportsmanship between the two.
That's it. I think it's going to be AJ personally. I think he's going to.
I think
he's going to just lose in the Randy match.
Yeah.
And then just make it a little bit more personal with Cody. It'll be a great match. Again.
It will be.
Was so good. Such a great match at the weekend. Speaking of Cody and The Rock, Observer once again giving us a little bit of an update on the WrestleMania 41 plans with Cody and The Rock. That's the match that looks like we're going to be getting. It is scheduled to feature Cody Rhodes versus The Rock. Dwayne Johnson's idea is WWE title versus People's title. Those in WWE have noted that there's no guarantee Rhodes will be champion at that time, which is where the People's Belt comes in. So I'm guessing if he hasn't got the WWE title, it'll be Cody versus The Rock for the People's title. So many things, of course, can change over the course of a year. I personally couldn't give a single solitary toss about the People's title.
Me neither. It just feels like something that's been... And I guess you could be like, oh, heel Rock. Yeah, of course heel Rock would create a title for himself because he thinks is like the biggest deal in wrestling. So that, like, yeah, but why would Cody want that though, really?
Because Muhammad Ali's relative, I can't even remember who it was, gave it to The Rock. And
Yes,
they've got something to play off here, which is what did The Rock give to Cody? What went in the pocket and all that. So there's something fun happening there. But, I mean, WWE title versus People's title... Oh, no, it doesn't do it for me.
It doesn't need the people's title thing, does it?
No, Rock just fancies something to wear, doesn't he? That's all he wants to lick the bollocks. That's all it is. It's rubbish. Who cares?
Yeah. It's rubbish. Who cares?
Sorry, no disrespect. Obviously, I don't personally want to see it. We've all got opinions, right? Moving over to the AEW side of things now. And one of AEW stars is suffering concussion symptoms. We're talking about the Ring of Honor Pure champion, Wheeler Yuta. He's not wrestled since January. He's missed some of the big events that have happened. Per Fightful Select, Yuta has been dealing with concussion symptoms for months. The report noted that Fightful hasn't learned a timetable for his in-ring return, but it was noted that when they spoke to him in March, he was hopeful that the injury wouldn't keep him out of action for long.
Good. I'm glad.
You're glad he's... That's horrible.
No, that's not what I meant. That the injury wouldn't keep him out of action for long. Obviously, concussions things are incredibly serious injuries. The one that I can think of recently, at least within AEW, in terms of someone being out for quite a while, was when Adam Cole at the New Japan Forbidden Door event, the match had to be sort of stopped a little bit sooner than I think it originally planned to go on for a bit longer. And yeah, he was out for such a long time, and it was an arduous journey for him by the sounds of things as well, for him to get back in ring. So just hoping that Yuta is healthy, hoping he's all right, and hoping he manages to come back pretty soon as well.
Yeah, for sure. I say it every time we talk about concussion stuff, but I'm forever thankful that they are now just being taken super seriously, and have been for a long while, to be fair. So we send our best to Wheeler Yuta, of course. One AEW star's suspension has been lifted. You may remember Sammy Guevara had a match. You may remember Sammy Guevara, do you? He had a match with Jeff Hardy. It was a no DQ match back in February on Rampage. During the match, he does the shooting star press. Move went wrong. His knee connected with Jeff's face. It messed Jeff up big time. I think he got broken nose, concussion as well. There you go. But then he went and did the finish as well, didn't he? Rather than just going for the pin.
Hit the GTH, which is also a knee to the face.
Yes. So it was later reported that the discipline committee suspended Guevara for not following the promotion's concussion protocol. But Sammy Guevara is now unsuspended, so it'll be interesting to see what they've got for him to do. There's been stuff pitched apparently, but nothing confirmed.
I think...
Don't say Jericho.
Do what they always do. Throw him in with Jericho. I don't know where he fits at this point.
He was good this week. I don't know where he fits either.
That's the issue, is that he was good this week. He's grabbed onto that thing that nobody wanted, and he's turned it into something again.
Yeah, I know.
What a professional.
He's a bastard, isn't he? I want to hate it. No,
that's it.
It's the most sensible thing for Jericho to do.
Yeah.
As for Sammy, I don't know what you do with him. I'm racking my brains here.
Learning, all I can think of, and maybe it's because we've just seen that happen constantly, at least within AEW, is Sammy Guevara goes away from Jericho and then ultimately always returns to Jericho. So I'm like just thinking straight away, maybe just do the learning tree stuff again with Jericho. I don't know.
Time will tell, but we don't know when it's going to happen. And we are going to finish on the news of an AEW tag team possibly splitting up. So Isaiah Cassidy had a match against Samoa Joe on May the 1st, and now backstage footage has emerged on the official AEW account, where Cassidy shares his thoughts on the future of Private Party. And he said, when we came back to AEW in January, I felt like Private Party was on its way to becoming AEW Tag Team Champions. Fast forward to now, I can't say that confidently, and I think that's what hurts the most. And if I'm being honest, you know what else hurts? The fact that we've been here since day one, literally the beginning. We saw this company when it first started. We were here and we have nothing to show for it. It just feels like we're a big disappointment, and when the math isn't matching, there has to be a problem with the equation, and it's a tough pill to swallow, but the problem is us. We can't be what we want by remaining what we are. So then he goes on to say, change. And the first step towards change is awareness. And Quen and I are aware that what we've been doing isn't working. The second step towards change is acceptance, and we've accepted the fact that the party might just be over. Bit of a weird one to bring them back in January after so long and then split them up very, very soon after without giving them too much to do. Do you see one of these guys as like a potential like future star? I think they're both really good. But I think they're both really similar, aren't they? They're both on a similar level to one another.
Yeah, for sure. I think perhaps Isaiah Cassidy, but I also think that maybe that's not fair on Mark Quen, who was out for a long time, like over a year with an injury as well. Therefore, Cassidy did have the time to sort of develop a little bit more. Yes, he was in tag team matches with Matt Hardy and the Hardys as a whole and stuff like that, but I do think that looking on Cage Match as well, Mark, since the tag team title tournament that was at the beginning of March, I believe, Isaiah Cassidy has been given more singles opportunities than Mark Quen hasn't had a match since then.
Yeah.
So it does feel like perhaps maybe AEW is sort of see something a little bit more in Isaiah Cassidy, but again, I feel like that's unfair to say. Maybe Quen isn't doing as much just to be a little bit safe because of the injury that happened in the past and making sure he's healthy and stuff. But
it's interesting because obviously we've seen more of Cassidy. To me, maybe Quen stood out a little bit more. I think they're both really good. We'll see what happens there. That is it for your news today, unless something absolutely bonkers happens. I've been Adam.
I've been Andrew.
What? Why are you laughing?
I like these outros. They're always really
I never
good.
remember to do it. I just hate goodbyes. Goodbye. It's not a wig, dicks.